My dad, who didn't see me as being a boy or a girl, he just saw me as someone who wanted to engage and someone who was passionate. I just don't think that the farming got out of my blood, and I knew this is what I was meant to be doing. I'm in my element when I'm out there inspecting my crop and seeing how it's going. That's me, and that's where I'm meant to be. I can really remember the first year that we grew rice, which was in 2010. We took the kids, Paul and I, and we were waiting for the water to come down the channel for the very first time. And I just remember the feeling of just going, oh my gosh, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm meant to be doing. I just fell in love with it from that moment. Gee, it would be really nice if this stayed in our family. We love this bit of dirt, and we've worked so hard, and Dad's planted so many trees. We've really shaped it into who we are. Harvest is about family and everyone pitching in, and that's what our little family does.
Hi Shelley, how are you? I'm just going to run through a couple of questions. I mainly just want to know a little bit about where you live, a little bit about Deniliquin.
We live across the road from Mum and Dad, and the kids can ride their bikes over. We've got 3 boys.
Tell me a little bit about the wildlife that you see.
There's just so many different bird species, depending on the stage the crop is at.
But that's been great to chat, and yeah, I've got lots of ideas.
Thank you for taking the time.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to see
nice
you.
to meet you.
You too. Wow. Welcome to Wollongong Park.
Thank you so much. He's this little guy.
This is Lockie and Hayden and Jack.
Hi. Hi guys. I'm very excited to be here. It's gorgeous. I'm going to get you to pop that on your head.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my.
So just move around. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, Katie. Oh my God. Oh. I love how you've done the Wollongong Park. Oh, look at me. Oh, I've got tears in my eyes. Oh, top dressing. Oh my goodness. This is just so cool. Oh, you've done the grains so well. For Shelley, oh look. I keep going around and I find something new each time. Oh my. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for capturing. That's just such an amazing gift. Thank you so much. Do you think she summed it up pretty well?
Yeah.
Our life? It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I got to do the Skype with Katie and then meet her in person, it's just amazing how she could put my life into an artwork. It just blew my mind, and I'm just so, so grateful to be part of this wonderful experience.
Everyone, we are here at the Farming Matters Conference in Albury 2021. We made it to 2021. I'm here with Shelley from Nutrisoils. You have an amazing story. Who are you? What are you doing here? Tell us everything.
Oh, well, I'm just really lucky to be here. I recently started at Nutrisoil. Nakala and I actually went to primary school together, and I think that, you know, fate makes pathways, and we connected again through Luke's, Nakala's brother Luke, who is a client of mine. So backtracking a little bit is I was a farmer in Deniliquin, a rice farmer and cereal cropper. Just a few things didn't quite go according to plan, and not for financial reasons, just family reasons, and ended up in Albury nearly 2 years ago, and decided to start my own communication business because I wanted to stay in the agricultural space. I love and I'm passionate about our farmers and about Australian agriculture, so I needed to stay in that space, and I'm really passionate about advocacy, and I'll get to that in a minute, but ended up in Albury, needed to stay involved in that space, started up my own communication organisation and to specialise in rural issues. So Luke, who owns Regen Farming and consults with farmers about biological farming, was my first customer. His sister, Nicola, works for Nutrisoil. We did some videos out at Nutrisoil. Nicola was looking for someone about 5 weeks ago, and I just went, yeah, no, I've got to say yes to this. So, I started 5 weeks ago, and here I am today.
Fantastic. Woo!
Yeah.
We love Nutrisoil, one of our favourite partners for NRAD and CARBON8. So you've got a pretty fascinating story, a lot of advocacy going on there, a lot of activism. Tell us where it started and what you were fighting for.
Yep, okay, so I've got a funny background. So I did a biotechnology degree, became a science teacher, and ended up in Adelaide teaching. Prior to that, I grew up on the family farm in Deniliquin, mixed farming, but rice was the main enterprise.
That's pretty cool in Australia, right?
I know. I will tell you lots of great things about
was it
rice.
hard?
Would you like me to
I
talk
would
about
like
that
to know
first?
about that. Yes.
So Deniliquin has the largest rice mill in the Southern
I
Hemisphere.
had no idea.
I know. Australia produces the cleanest and greenest rice.
You guys
in
know
the
that?
world. Because our climate is actually really great for growing rice, because rice is growing in southern New South Wales. 99% of the rice grown in Australia is in southern New South Wales, where we have not a humid climate, we have a dry summer.
Yeah.
So we don't get the diseases that rice grown in tropical climates get. So we don't use that many chemicals really. So
Amazing.
we actually, are really great rice farmers, and we use 50% less water than the global average to grow a kilogram of rice.
That's amazing. So how many farmers are actually producing rice in Australia?
Oh look, I can't give you the statistics on that at the moment.
Is it
but
big, small?
It's reducing, unfortunately, just because of water availability, and the establishment of water markets and changing water policy is actually hamstringing rice producers, and we're not growing as much rice anymore, which is really quite sad, and probably one of the reasons part of those reasons that we spoke about why I left farming is because I thought I was put on the planet to grow rice. So
I love that.
I really distinctly remember the first day. So we came back to the farm in the middle of the millennium drought. So the farm across the road from Mum and Dad became available for sale. We had our first child. We were in Adelaide at the time. No family. My friends didn't have kids. So we said it was time to move back home. And all these little steps of fate came in the way, and the farm came up for sale. We moved home. That was 2006, but we didn't grow our first rice crop until 2010 because there was no water to grow rice because of the millennium drought. But I can distinctly remember that first time that we grew a rice crop and the water coming down the channel. My husband and the kids and I were all there just like cheering it on.
Yeah, amazing.
It was just the best. And then seriously, within 2 days, it was so noisy from the frogs. The frogs just burst, it was just amazing. And then the birds that came in, and throughout the crop's growing phase, different birds would come in and out. And I just loved that I fed so many people. We were only a baby rice growers, and so ourselves, we were averaged about being able to feed 2.7 million people between Dad and I. So I farmed with my dad, who was across the road, and the best 12 years of my life working with my dad.
Well, that is mystical regeneration. That's mystical regeneration. How many people could you have fed?
Well, between Dad and I, we probably averaged about 11 million people.
That is amazing, right? Have you ever heard anything like this? Oh my God, keep going. I'm
Yeah, so
fascinated.
anyway, so that was the one great thing. But the other thing that I really loved was how much wildlife was in a rice crop.
Beautiful.
It was just your insects, your frogs, your snakes and your lizards, and all the different birds, like so many different birds, but especially the Australasian bittern, which was is an endangered species, really liked rice crops. So it was a bit of always a competition who was going to get the bittern first in their rice crop between Dad and I. So all that was going on, and loved it, thought I was put on the planet to grow rice. And then things began to change with changing water policy and the establishment of water markets, just prices rice farmers out of the market. So I was like, oh God, if people in the city actually understood how great our farmers are, and maybe we can, turn around these conversations rather than...
If people in the city understood how great our farmers were, maybe we could turn this all around. I mean, you guys didn't even know really that we produce rice in Australia. The fact that it attracted so much wildlife is just the most beautiful thing. And now there's a bit of a story about the endangered species here, isn't there?
So there's a great project out there called Bittens in Rice, because now I might not get all the figures right, but I think about 40% of the bittens are breeding in rice crops. So it's a really important habitat for, this endangered species. So we've been very passionate about that. We actually had one tagged in our rice crop and called Milo, and so that, it was very special. Dad is an avid, bird watcher and photographer, so it was really special to us. So I started a group called Speak Up Campaign because I wanted to educate people that we don't have to have one or the other. We can actually work together. It's called Win-Win Ecology, and it's about getting environmental, ecological outcomes on human-dominated spaces. And I think our farms are the best places to start doing that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And working out, we've got lots of people that we need to feed in this planet, and only going to have more. So how can we, why do we have to have combative policy? Why can't we have policy that supports both? And I think there's so many opportunities. I really feel that farmers are the solution. They're not the problem. And
Absolutely.
if they've got the support of the rest of our communities behind them, we can achieve great stuff. So that's been my pathway, and why I'm here today. And I just believe that there's something in the stars written for you, and I'm so excited to be involved in this space because I think it's our best hope for the future, for our next generation.
I love this woman. All right, so you've introduced me to amazing new concepts here today. It's so exciting.
Yes.
So, just on the advocacy side of things, so the website, you've got a website for this?
Yeah, it's www.speakupforwater.com, and that's the numeral 4, not the other one.
Yep.
Lots of stuff on there, but predominantly, it's about the Murray-Darling Basin Plan and wanting balance for our environment, for our communities, and food production, because we're really passionate that we can have all of those. We don't have to be competitive. Would you like me to tell you?
Very quickly. I would love you to tell our audience very quickly what it's all about, and if they want to get involved, how can they do that?
Well, go to the website, but we've done lots of different things. So in 2019 we ran with some other organisations the Convoy to Canberra. We had over 3,000 people in front of Parliament House, over 120 trucks circling around Parliament. That was just amazing. We've organised forums where we've had scientists and politicians come and speak. We've had a rally in Melbourne where we had 300 people in green shirts walking down Collins Street, which was just amazing. We had over 3,000 people on the banks of Tocumwal, blocked the bridge for a bit of time and stuff like that. So we've done a lot of things, and it's all about trying to get the message out there that our farmers are really at tipping point. And especially within in southern New South Wales and northern Victoria, that's where the most of the water recovery has come from. But additional to that, the disconnectivity with the Northern Basin requires the Murray to deliver any shortfalls to South Australia that the Northern Basin are not providing. So as a result of that, the Murray has to be pushed harder. It is destroying our riverbanks. We're losing kingfisher nesting sites. It causes sedimentation in the bottom of the riverbed, covering the nesting sites for our crayfish. we're just doing so much damage to the Murray River to make up for the shortfalls, what's not coming down from the Darling, and to meet the needs down to keep the lower lakes a freshwater system.
Amazing. Well, I mean, I'm just so inspired there. That's just so amazing. So one more time, the website is
www.speakupforwater.com if you want to go have a look.
Okay, and you know, like one of our big pushes for NRAD this year was our Sacred Waterways. We've introduced the platypus as our logo mascot, and it's really dear to our hearts, and it should be dear to the whole of Australia's heart. We all know there's a crisis going on with the way that our water's been managed, and so it's really a good time for people to get involved and stand up. So thank you so much for jumping on. Oh my gosh, I want to talk so much more about the rice and the birds and the
Anytime.
amazing. So thank you, Shelley. Wonderful to meet you, and
Thank you,
we'll
Kelly.
speak to you soon.
Thank you.